I know I'm Liberace. I shared a plane with him once. I crossed no, it was that fellow, Lionel Blair. He was on the plane going from London to, yeah, is that me? Am I talking? Am I live? You're pulling my leg. Am I? He does that all the time. Yes, how are you? You're most welcome back to my emporium of broadcasting magnificence. Please regard it as your own studio. Bit hard to get in through the door if you're viewing in Manhattan, but we love you and we send you all our best wishes and many blessings and warm regards. Please receive my respect wherever you are in the world. We're having a ball here. Grainne Powell of Sticky Fingers is with us this morning. And Sticky Fingers is, I like to think of it, Grainne, as a Newry phenomenon, but it's not.
Well, it is and it's not. It's very much a Newry company set up to provide arts programmes for Newry children. That's our primary aim. But we also have a strong international link. We work all over Europe. We have programmes now in Egypt and also in Eastern Europe and all across the island of Ireland. Wow. So we have loads of different things happening. We have the art house, which is in Newry, which is every day there's something different happens.
Yeah, that's in Monaghan
That's
Street.
In Monaghan Street, and that's just a drop in, so anybody who feels like doing something can call in. I think today
you'll know where it is because you will have the happy, joyful burble of 1,000 children roaring and shouting as you pass the window.
Yes, and glitter sparkling out the windows and bubbles and all sorts of magical going on. And I think today we're making pillowcase monsters, so I think Monaghan Street might be overtaken later on with loads of monsters.
But I think it's lovely because you know you're responsible for the lovely house on the dual carriageway, the Ickerty-Pickerty silver house at the side of the motorway.
Yes, that's
it's most wonderful.
Yeah. That's the Tower of Imagination. That was created by one of Ireland's most renowned artists, Maurice Harron, Derry-based artist, who's more famous for the Famine Gardens in New York and the Hands across Derry. And that's a piece that was created with local children collecting stories. It's a Tower of Imagination where all the different stories from
Take me on the journey from the time there was no Sticky Fingers, and then one day you said, oh, let there be Sticky Fingers, and then there was Sticky Fingers. How did it happen?
It had very humble beginnings in Belfast. It set up as a project with a lifespan expected for 6 weeks to work with children in deprived areas of North Belfast during the height of the conflict. The programme was then funded by Save the Children and did quite a lot of sort of unusual work.
So lovely to hear that. Save the Children mentioned in that context.
Save the Children were funding it, and it grew from then. It became more and more successful, and it became an independent organisation in 2002. And we relocated back to Newry, where most of the team were actually born and bred from Newry, so we all came home.
It's a Newry export to the world.
It's a Newry export, and we're everywhere. And we have our big international festival happening in October, and we have premieres from Switzerland, France, and Germany all coming to Newry this year.
That's the same as being recognised as the European City of Children, is that it?
Well, that's actually slightly different. We're also working to become the International City for Children, and we're working with the EU Culture Commission, who invested 19 million on setting up a project with 20 countries across Europe, all to produce and research work for young children. And that's all been showcased in Newry next February over 5 days. And there's going to be a huge big symposium where the EU Culture President, the Irish President, and lots of other very important people are going to come to Newry to talk about children's rights. So
well, I hope the children that you're working with, I'm sure they will, that they will benefit and they will absorb all of the goodness that's being exuded by the project, and this will percolate through their being, and they'll go forward, because very often you find that children are lovely, Gucci, you're gorgeous, they become lovely little toddlers, they become lovely little babies, they become lovely little sort of 10-year-olds, 12, and then they become, I want to strangle you, you little yet. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yes, I do.
Where does it all go wrong? Where does the loveliness of the Monaghan Street house turn into the nightmare of what you might have seen at various times in rough situations, maybe in North Belfast, maybe in other places, where children become very angular and very harsh?
Look, if we had more Sticky Fingers art houses in those areas, and we're engaging with children when they're very young,
then just fix this on for you, it's falling away.
We would stop maybe some of that happening.
Yeah, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
It's evidence has shown that children who engage in play and the arts from an early age have more confidence, more self-esteem, achieve more, better at forming relationships. Basically, they are far better at dealing with the challenges life throws at them.
But you have all of these parents forking out fortunes to preschool groups and the rest. Should those preschool groups not be doing that?
They should in an extent, but one of the big problems we have in Europe and specifically in Ireland and the UK is our children don't play anymore. And it's not high technology play.
I see them all the time. They're on the computers.
Yes, that's the problem. They're not outside just playing. And
ring a rosy,
exactly.
pocket full
Yeah,
of
exactly.
posy.
They're not learning to use their imaginations, think for themselves, and actually make decisions. And unfortunately, we're seeing evidence in early adulthood of psychological problems that result from this.
Yeah, well, you're in there trying to do something about
Well, we're
that.
trying to promote play, and I think one of the things we're really desperately trying to do in Newry is raise the profile that children are important and that we need to recognise they need spaces to play. And I think one of the things we really want to do is lobby for a new play park, a proper open green space where children can play, where families can engage.
Yeah. What about that place at Slieve Gullion? It's a huge
Slieve
park.
Gullion is a brilliant resource, and we worked alongside Newry Council to develop it, and we're actually going into phase 2 now to develop it even more, where we're developing a children's sculpture park and a story trail with tree houses. So that's planned to start commencement in October. So it's a really good resource, but that's Slieve Gullion. In the centre of the city we need a similar resource. We need somewhere where children can call their own.
Do you know, it's coming to me like a miracle. Daisy Hill Wood.
Exactly.
What a
ideal.
wonderful
Brilliant
place.
resource. Absolutely underused resource.
Underused.
And naturally in the middle of the city, and a lot of local people don't even know it's there.
You could populate that if you had to.
We
if
could.
you had the
We could do
opportunity to work
something
with
with
council.
it. Yeah, we definitely would. We'd welcome the opportunity to work on a site like that.
Yeah, Daisy Hill Wood is there for you, council. Please hear. And these people will work with you.
And the children. Let the children decide on what they want. Yeah.
They watch the birds.
Yes.
Name the birds.
Yeah. And
watch
play.
the bird
Just somewhere where they can go and safely play.
I would love to play it. You know, Daisy Hill was wonderful as I was growing up. It was just a magical place.
With all the
and
bamboo.
That could be, at Daisy Hill Nursery where the bulrushes grow, da-da-da-da-da-da, where hanging down trees will keep out the breeze, and the boys court the girls as they please. That was from my young days, but I can't remember it all. But they were innocent times, and that innocence has gone, for goodness sake.
That's the problem. We need to sort of bring that back and just recognise that sometimes simple things are better. And just get people to recognise that actually doing something simple as a family and just playing and going for a walk in somewhere like Daisy Hill Woods is of benefit.
Where do people find you? How do they make contact with you if they have an interest in what you're doing, if they want to assist in somewhere, if they want to bring their families to you? How does it work?
Very easy. We're on Monaghan Street. We're opened every day from 10 to 5, and you're welcome just to drop in. And there's a team of people, team of artists on hand every single day to work with you, to encourage you, and to give you any advice you need. So you can come in as simple as come in and play, or there's a range of more complicated programs. There's things like jewellery making, film making, animation, all for children, and you can engage in something a bit more challenging if you wish.
You know what we should do next week? Sean's going to collapse here when I say this.
Yeah.
I beg you to bear with me here, Sean. I want your children to take this studio over next week.
That would be a really good idea.
And broadcast to the world.
Yes.
And you can orchestrate it. You can be the maestro.
That would be. We'd welcome that opportunity.
Well, we will do that next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Brilliant.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
We look forward to that.
Go
Thanks,
well.
Rowan.
God bless you. Take care. All the best. Let's have the music, sir.